Hi everyone, Kevin here from Golf Guy Reviews, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at these. It's the Adidas Tour360 XT SL golf shoes. Now the SL stands for Spikeless, so I'm going to take a look at these shoes, go through and give you a close-up of some of the style details, the technical elements, and just generally let you know how they fit and feel on feet. I've done a comparison video as well because Adidas have also got the spiked versions of these shoes. So if you want to compare them against the spiked versions, then you can click the link above. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this video today, so make sure you hit that like button if you do. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date on all my latest reviews of golf shoes, clothing and tech right here on Golf Guy Reviews. So let's start with the overall kind of look and design of the shoe. And I say that Adidas have done quite a good job of making a traditional kind of looking golf shoe that's still sporty and modern, but in a spikeless design. So this definitely doesn't look like a trainer. It looks like a golf shoe, and you know, it performs pretty well out on course, and we'll come on to the actual performance of the shoes in a little bit. In regards to the upper, and you have got this leather upper, which is Adidas climber proof technology. So you've got a year's waterproof guarantee, and I've got to say it is very, very soft. It breaks in nice, and you can kind of see here actually that it does crease up a fair bit once you've kind of broken it in and worn it for a fair amount of time, but it does get nice and soft indeed, very, very supple and comfortable to wear. On the upper as well, you can see you've got a few different materials too. So you can see here that you've got the climber proof leather, but then you've got this kind of perforated leather material here under the 360 wrap part. And again, that perforated material goes around the heel and the ankle area there. So you've got some different contrasts in the material on the upper. You've got plenty of different colorways to go with these shoes. I've got them here in just a white, black and silver. So you can see here you've got the silver accent on the bottom of the shoe there, kind of helping to provide some stability to the shoe. And as you can see, you've got full length boost in these shoes as well, but we'll come on to that in a little bit. On the front of the shoe, you've got quite a chunky kind of protector part, which is made up of the grip on the shoe, and it comes up on the front. So again, it's there to protect the shoe as you swing through the golf shoe. But overall, I would say that I quite like the look of this shoe. If you're looking for a sporty but classic, I suppose, kind of looking golf shoe, then this is what you're going to want to go for. Adidas have actually got a really impressive range at the moment. They've got something for everyone actually. So you know, if you want something that's a little bit more sporty, you've got something there. But again, if you want sporty that's casual, Adidas have got that. But if you want sporty that actually still performs really well on the golf course, they've got that too. And if you want something a bit more traditional looking, you've got these. If we talk about the stability of the shoe, I would say Adidas have done a pretty good job because this shoe is designed to be, you know, a performance-based spikeless golf shoe. You see a number of players wearing it out on the professional tour, and the main thing that you've got in regards to the stability is this 360 wrap technology. So as you can see here, you've got these 3 bars, and they're not just there for design and giving you the Adidas 3-stripe logo, they're actually there for the stability of the shoe. So you can see that they're not actually connected to the upper at the top section anyway. You can see that they're separate, and so when you pull your shoes in your laces nice and tight, if I pull them tight here, he says, wrong way, you can see that it kind of pulls down the shoe right across the top of your foot, and this connects right the way on the inside of the shoe, going underneath, and then round back the other side as well, and it does the same. So it really does kind of pull your foot in and giving you a nice kind of lockdown fit across that midfoot area. What I would say as well in regards to stability is that you've also got this kind of plastic ridge section in there, again trying to help give you a nice stable bed for you to plant your foot on. And you've also got kind of this one-piece construction on the grip, which we'll go through in a little bit. But again, that's going to help provide stability, giving it a little bit more structure on the bottom. Now, all that stability is needed because this is full-length boost. Now, Boost is an absolutely fantastic technology. There's nothing that really feels quite like it out on the market. It's really, really soft and will give you great energy return. So if you've not tried a pair of shoes with the Boost midsole, where have you been? I totally recommend you give it a go because, you know, it's going to feel really quite nice and soft. But it can result in shoes being a little bit unstable sometimes and a little bit wobbly. And there's quite a lot of boost in this shoe. So that's why Adidas have kind of taken the time to actually put enough stability technology in these shoes to make sure you've got nothing to worry about. For me personally, I don't have anything to worry about with these shoes. I think they are quite nice and stable, but still nice and soft. They're not going to be the most stable shoes out on the market. I've got to kind of admit that. But they are going to be stable enough for the vast majority of people. But if you're looking for a golf shoe that is really going to kind of lock down your feet as tight as possible and going to be quite a firm platform underneath, then that's not going to be it. Because if you look, there is a lot of kind of movement in the sole of this shoe, and yeah, exactly. So, you know, you're not getting the very, very highest echelons of stability, but, you know, there's plenty of tour players out there using this shoe. You know, you're going to get enough stability for the vast, vast majority of players out there. In terms of the comfort of the shoe, as I said, you're going to get a nice, comfortable feeling from the Boost midsole material there. If I pull the inner sole out as well, you can see here that you have got the Adidas, I think it's called Insight sock liner, I believe. And you know, it's a nice, comfortable feeling. There's not too much going on with it there. I can't quite tell whether that is a different kind of material there on the structure of this part, or whether these are just lines cut out. But yeah, you know, it's comfortable enough. It doesn't need to really do too much because it is so soft with the Boost material underneath. You're going to get a nice, comfortable feeling. However, one thing I did find with these shoes is that they did give me some blistering at the heel. Now that I thought was quite odd because I didn't really get any blistering with the spiked version. But if you take a look at the comparison video, you can see that there are some differences between the way the spikeless version is constructed compared to the spiked version. So, you know, I have seen a lot of reviews say that you do need to break these shoes in a bit. And for me, I found with my feet that, yeah, actually, I did have to break these in the heel area. They felt nice and comfortable in the ankle area, straight out the box, no problems there. The tongue's nice and soft. It's actually quite wide, so you know it's nice and comfortable at the front of your foot, but I did get some blisters the first couple of times I wore these out on the course, so that is definitely something to consider. Now if we take a look at the underside of the shoe, and Adidas are using the X traction system here. So you can see that you've got all these different kind of X-shaped lugs right the way across the sole of the shoe, and then you've got a few arrows at the rear and at the front as well, you know, to mix things up and I suppose to provide the right kind of grip that Adidas think you need on the shoes. Now in general, I would say that this performs really, really well. It's quite an aggressive traction system compared to some other spikeless shoes that look more like trainers. You know, these are definitely really tailored for the golf course and to provide you as much grip as possible. And generally, I've found that they've done a really, really good job. They are kind of actually quite aggressive in the fact that you can wear these out on muddy conditions as well, and you're not going to have too many problems. I wouldn't necessarily wear them in the muddiest of muddy conditions, just because I'd much prefer to rely on the grip of a spiked shoe. But I would say if you're looking for a pair of spikeless shoes that are going to perform well in both very, very dry conditions as well as quite wet and damp conditions, then you're not going to go too far wrong with the X traction system. You can see here on the sole as well that you've got this kind of X plate underneath, and this is the X torsion stability bar that Adidas have put in, again to try and increase the stability of the shoe because there's quite a lot of softness going on with it, so you need to make sure that the shoe isn't too soft. And so you can kind of see here that it starts here on the shoe and goes down and finishes about there, and you can see it on the other side as well to try and give you some much needed stability in the shoe. As I said before, this is quite a nice and soft kind of sole plate. You know, there is quite a lot of movement in it, so it's going to feel nice and comfortable and soft underneath. Initially, I was concerned that actually the kind of lugs are going to be quite hard and stiff. But if you kind of take a look here, they're quite soft actually. You've got a fair amount of movement on them as well, so they're not going to feel too hard underfoot. You can wear them to and from the golf course if you wanted to. Personally, I probably wouldn't actually. You know, I would probably still put on a pair of trainers to drive to and from the course, but you could probably just about get away with it if you wanted to. So there you go. I would say overall, I'm pretty impressed with the Adidas Tour360 XT SLs. Bit of a mouthful of a name, but if you're looking for a modern looking but quite quietly styled golf shoe that is spikeless and is going to be able to use for the majority of the year, it's going to be waterproof and it's going to be nice and comfortable, then absolutely you can go check out these golf shoes. You have got to be aware though that, as I say, I did get some blistering in the heel, so I can't say that these are straight out the box comfortable. They are very, very comfortable underfoot, The leather is nice and soft on the top and really does break in and is nice and comfortable, but there is a little bit of a breaking in period I found on the heel and maybe even the ankle area for yourselves. So let me know down in the comments, have you got a pair of these, or do you think they could be your next golf shoes? They currently retail in the UK, the RRP is £140, although because they are a little bit older now, you can actually pick them up in quite a few sales, and I've definitely seen them for under £100 in the last round of sales, so keep an eye out for a good deal on them there. I really hope you enjoyed this video today. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date on all my latest reviews of golf shoes, clothing and tech right here on Golf Guy Reviews.